To kick off our next session, we are fortunate enough to have Professor Winnie Peng with us. Winnie is a leading expert in family business and wealth management and director of the Roger King Center for Asian Family Business and Family Offices at HKUST, which, by the way, is a center that was established with a philanthropic gift. So very apt for this discussion. Professor Peng holds degrees from Tsinghua, HKUST, and Harvard Business School. With 20 years of experience, she specializes in family wealth, philanthropy, impact investing, and delivers tailored courses globally. And I believe that some of your students are with us also in the audience today. So welcome to Winnie, your colleagues, and your students. Now, in this conversation, we're going to focus on how families within China and Hong Kong are dealing with philanthropy. So let's start with a description of your role at the Roger King Business School. What exactly is it that you do there?
Thanks, Kirsty, for the very nice introduction. So I'm a faculty member in Department of Finance at Hong Kong UST, and I'm also the director for the Roger King Center for Asian Family Business and Family Office. And our center, in fact, is one of the pioneer research centers in this field. And we're very fortunate to have at least two prominent family support in the past and currently. So Tonoto Foundation, this morning you heard the introduction. Tonoto Foundation actually supported our center for 10 years. So for which we're forever grateful about it. And also 2 years ago, our center's founder, Professor Roger King's three kids, they decided to give us a sizable endowment fund to support our center. So our center was very lucky enough to become the first research center at Hong Kong UST to receive endowment fund. So, but also very fortunate this morning you mentioned about Belinda Tonoto. So Belinda actually agreed to join our center's Roger King Center's advisory committee recently, so we're very fortunate. So besides the Center for Roger King Center, I'm also the director for the Case Center, which is, the full name is Thompson Center for Business Case Study, which is another sponsored center. And recently I got a new title. I'm the co-director of our Hong Kong USD's new MSc program in family office and family business, which will commence next year. So, which means a lot more work for me to do. Yes, yeah.
I didn't know whether to say congratulations or not, but yes, I think congratulations are in hand. And now, will you make a distinction between family businesses and business families in Hong Kong? What's the difference?
Yeah, I think these two concepts, actually that concept's not really limited to Hong Kong or any other places. Okay, so family business, in brief, it is usually have one core business. And usually the family wants to hold it and want to expand, grow it, and also hope that it can be passed on to the future generation. Any kind of innovation or transformation happening is within that business. And the family wealth is tied to that business particularly. And usually you need to identify one successor. So that's the definition of family business. Then we'll talk about business family. So business family, on the other hand, is actually a family full of entrepreneurial spirit. So not just fund a startup business, in fact, the future generation, younger generation can also start a business as well. So family owns one or more businesses, but not necessarily to be the same time. It could be different time. Okay, so it's also not necessary to really pass one business to future generation. If it's good timing, maybe it's better to sell it out and start a new business. And so family wealth is actually diversified in a portfolio of business, and usually it's not just one successor you want to identify, you need to identify a team of successors. Okay, so those are the differences between the two.
Now, you've done quite a bit of research, I think, regarding the shift from from family businesses to business families. That's right. No? And what, I mean, what have you found in the course of that research?
Okay, so we all know a curse is called wealth does not pass beyond 3 generations. Okay, it's not simply just applied to Chinese, it's applied to everywhere in the world. But I think Japanese could be an exception, but we'll not talk about that. Okay, so it's not easy to build long-lasting business for sure. Okay, even if sometimes you work very hard, you may be constrained to a lot of external factors. Okay, so one of the key factors I want to mention here, in fact, this is research done by me and Professor Roger King together, is industry characteristics. You know, no matter how hardworking you are, if your business fell into those kind of 3 industry characteristics, you may not last very long. The first one is capital-intensive industry. Second is cyclical industry. The third is the industry that requires high growth. Okay, capital-intensive, you need larger amount of capital to start, and sometimes if you face difficulties, it's very difficult for you to really deal with that kind of capitals, right? And the cyclical industry, if you borrow money in a down cycle, then actually you cannot really pay back the money to go bankrupt. And for like high-tech industry, those industries, you need a lot of constantly, you know, to boost up their growth, right? So you need to hire a lot of people and also introduce a lot of new funds. Sooner or later, your ownership will be diversified. So basically, if your business fall into those 3 kind of characteristics, so sorry about that. Even you work very hard, you actually cannot survive very long. This is the first one. And second is that also business nowadays actually face a lot of other challenges, you know, unstable, you know, environment, okay, and also, you know, the short-term challenges like COVID-19, mid-term challenge like, you know, Sino-US tension, and long-term challenge could be industry disruptions. So you face a lot of challenges, and business cycle becomes shorter and shorter. So how can you sustain business for a long time, right? So that's why if you hold only one core business, it's difficult. That's why I say why we suggest a shift from one family business to a business family. So the key is to nurture a group of family members that full of entrepreneurial spirit, so they can diversify the risk into different kind of businesses.
You've also done research on the shift from a family business to a family office. So what's your definition of a family office?
Okay, family office, okay, well, can be an organization or actually can be one person who can take care of any kind of family needs. So this is actually basic definition of family office. But a lot of people nowadays, they have misunderstanding of family office. They think family office, most people think that family office is just investment, wealth management, okay? So this is if we believe that if you only use family office to do investment, the better term, we believe, is you better call it private investment company, a private investment office. You don't need to mention family. We believe the true family office, okay, in fact, I think the focus could be managing family. And managing money could be a second thing, okay? So managing family is most important, okay? And there were many different types of family offices, okay? 3 types I want to mention here. The first is single family office, okay? Single family office is very easy to identify. It's the group of people just work for one family. But now multi-family office, a group of people working for a group of families. Sometimes we actually feel difficult to identify them because sometimes, you know, we see a lot of so-called multi-family office are actually asset management companies. Right. Okay, so I think how do you identify as actually family office is actually a buy side, okay, not sell side. So asset management company actually sell side, okay? This is a multi-family office. And the third one is we call embedded family office. We believe that whenever you have a family business, you might have a family office already embedded in a family business because you use your accountants, CFO, chairman's assistant, to deal with your family issues. So this is what we call embedded family. But as the family needs grow more complicated, the family wealth grow bigger, you may have to separate the two.
And can you have a family office without a family business, and just to preserve the legacy, or if you like?
Yeah. So family business, family office to us is simply tools to preserve the family wealth, family legacy. So family business, why? So we actually also promote, besides from family business to business family, we also promote another approaches from family business to family office, okay? Especially, I mentioned to you, family business is very difficult to survive in the long term, right? So if you really lack of talent and you don't really, want outsiders to manage your company, then maybe the best option is to sell your business. And once you exit from the business, you have a lot of money there, right? Then I think the next stage is for you to set a family office. So family office can help to manage the money and also can help to manage the family. Yes.
That's interesting. So what are some of your suggestions to these families going forward? And say they've got they decide to take that route, have a family office. What sort of philanthropy should they engage in to preserve that family legacy through the family office?
Okay, just now I mentioned that family office not just simply managing money, but also managing family, right? So how do they managing family? Roger and I will propose the 3 preservations. The role for the, I believe, is more genuine single family office. One is to preserve the family wealth. Second is preserve the family harmony. The third is preserve the family value and family legacy. So philanthropy actually fall into our third role, right? Preserving family value and the family legacy. So, family business, if you have the family business, and then in fact, naturally, especially during the early stage of the family business, almost all the family members work in the business, right? But then the business grow bigger, it turns into business family, or business sold out, you have no such a tool to keep the family together. Then family office can take that role to keep the family together, especially through philanthropy, through creating family foundation.
So this is the sort of the bonding mechanism that we've been talking about earlier.
Yes.
But I'm interested in how a family office preserves family harmony.
Yes. Then that will be about the role of family governance. So some family offices, in fact, they take up the roles to do family governance, especially Gamgay this morning mentioned that their family office's major role is really to help with their family governance. Yes.
Now, I want to ask about the next generation in Hong Kong and how they, from your research, how you see they view their inheritance and philanthropy. How are they structuring their work, and what do they want to do with their philanthropy that might be different from the way their parents viewed it?
Actually quite different. Okay, so according to some survey, also our own survey, our center's own survey, we found that more and more, next gens, younger generations are interested in doing more philanthropic work, but the philanthropy, we have majority 2 kind of philanthropic activity. One is we say traditional philanthropy. Second is strategic philanthropy. So we see more and more younger generations that are actually interested in more, strategic philanthropy. So traditional is just check writing. You don't need to do due diligence. You don't need to follow up, right? You don't need to measure the income and the impact. But strategic philanthropy you can do all, and the traditional one, maybe only one funder is involved, but the strategic one, you can actually, get all the family members to get involved, and also, to seriously consider some, issues that was ignored by the society. Together, they work as a team. I think how to keep the family harmony is to create opportunity to engage them together. So family philanthropy is a very, very good way to engage them together.
So going back to that difference between the traditional philanthropy and strategic. So basically what you're saying, that the strategic, it's much more institutionalized.
Yes, yes.
That you need all the checks and balances, the due diligence, the governance and so on.
Yes.
And does that in itself, that institution, would you say, help with family harmony and bonding because it's more institutionalized?
I think the key is not institutionalized. The key is you have to, engage all the family members involved, no matter what kind of philanthropic work you are doing. Not simply just one founder, put their name on each kind of buildings there, not like that, but involve all the people to do philanthropic work. And also, family business, usually in Asian context, we don't allow in-laws to work in the family business. Right. Okay, so in-laws, sometimes we'll call them outlaws, sorry about that. Okay, so, but philanthropic work, we can involve everyone, okay, including in-laws. That's also another way to keep a harmonious family.
Yes, because that can cause quite a lot of tensions, can't it? If your husband or wife is kept out of the yeah. No, that's very smart psychologically. I can see that. Okay, let's move on to your work looking at impact investing, because I know you've done quite a lot of research into that. Why has that become such a hot topic now?
I think one of the two main new driving force in this field. One is, of course, next generation, right? They're very interested in doing ESG, impact-related things. So many survey results also shows that, the millennials, maybe 70% interested in that, but, baby boomers, maybe 30% interested. You see the big difference, right? Another driving force is women investors, women's role. Okay, nowadays women's status become better and better. And even in the family, sometimes they are the one managing the family office, right? So they have a lot of power, but women, by our nature, we love ESG stuff, right? That's why those two major driving new
That's interesting. So women are much more likely to be interested
involved.
In ESG than men.
Yes. Another thing is that's also proving, very good financial returns out of impact investing. So people think also, this is another misunderstanding, right? Impact investing, you have to sacrifice your return. Sorry, it's not. If you sacrifice your return, you call it philanthropy. Now we call it impact investing. It's more sustainable. So you need to create positive financial returns. So people realize, okay, in fact, impact investing can create good financial returns. Why not, right? In Hong Kong, we have Horizon Ventures, okay? They're doing 100%, impact investing, doing very, very good, okay? And also, like Gamgay family, they have Happiness Capital, also 100% impact investing. While one of the earliest one, RS Group, any chance, family office, also 100% impact investing. Their return is quite good, okay? Yeah.
Now, Hong Kong, as we've sort of said earlier, is trying to establish itself as a philanthropic or philanthropy hub. How far has it come, and what more does Hong Kong need to do to become that hub?
I think Hong Kong actually has a very, very long tradition of giving. Okay, so I remember in 2018, there's a UBS report that shows that the philanthropic asset in Hong Kong actually was 3.3% of GDP, which is actually ranked number one in Asia. Okay, so Hong Kong is number one. Second, in 2021, also the survey shows that 41% of Hong Kong people actually they are involved in the philanthropic activities. They donate money. Well, so this is one thing we have very good basic, okay? Yeah. And the second, we have a lot of NGOs in Hong Kong, especially a lot of them actually is family-related, family foundations. Throughout the whole Asia, besides Japan, okay, Hong Kong actually has the most of the matured family businesses in this region. So those matured family businesses in this region. For a long time, they accumulated enough family wealth. So they set up their family office very early. Also, they set up their family foundation very, very early. So those are the other things we already have. Then another thing is nowadays Hong Kong is really encouraging more families to set up family offices in Hong Kong, right? So we are so near to mainland China, so many wealthy families in mainland China, they come to set up their family office in Hong Kong. One of the very, very important initiatives we always encourage the mainland Chinese family offices, please set up family foundation. Okay, so definitely I believe Hong Kong is already, for a long time already the philanthropic hub. But of course, there were challenges. For example, I think still the whole, the whole society actually still we have very, very fragmented support, right? There's no one single platform to unite everybody. This is one thing. Another thing is, for example, we have a CFA exam, but we don't have like an equal, term called a CPA or something in a society where we need more talent.
Can you just explain that a little bit more for?
Yeah, so basically we need more talent in supporting the foundations, right? That's why we need to train them. So more education, proper education is needed. So currently I just feel in fact, this is my long time idea. I hope that our university could set up a philanthropic research center, but we haven't done yet. But this is something that I think we should pick up, or one of the universities should pick up.
So more research, but also more training.
More trainings to train the professionals.
So sort of and professionalize that.
Yes. Yes.
And how do things differ in Hong Kong? I mean, how do things differ on the mainland, I should say, to Hong Kong?
One major difference is mainland Chinese families, they are called new wealth. In Hong Kong, we have a combination of new wealth and old wealth. And in terms of philanthropic work, new wealth actually can be very, very generous or very fast decision making in terms of, giving out the money, right? I don't say that old wealth is not, generous. They basically need more time to think about that to take action. But so new wealth actually, if you're doing fundraising, maybe they are the one easier for you to approach and to get some funding. But that could be just one time. So for the old wealth, I think it's more they care about sustainability. Right? Not just one-time donation. They could sustain. They could gradually donate some money. I think those are the key differences. Exactly. Yes.
Winnie, thank you so much. Before we end this session, I've got a question. Ruth Shapiro, wait for a microphone to come to you. Have we got a microphone? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Winnie, I really want to thank you for saying that the U.S.-China relations is a medium-term problem. Okay.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. So Hong Kong is somewhat unique in Asia in that there is the prevalence of family foundations here that don't exist in other Asian localities to the extent that they exist in Hong Kong. And it's somewhat surprising because there's no tax benefits to create a foundation. It's actually a hassle to become listed as a nonprofit organization, which many foundations don't. Why do you think that it's become the norm here for families to set up foundations? And do you see in your work that trajectory continuing, that families will continue to set up a foundation? They don't need to. They can just give their money out from their family office. So why have they, and why will they continue to create a foundation?
I think the difference between a foundation and a kind of random donation is really about the structure, whether it's really professionalized or not. I see a trend nowadays. Young generations really care about professionalization of the family foundation. In the past, I see so many family foundations headed by the patriarch. Okay, but nowadays I see more and more actually foundations become professionally run. Okay, Kadori family, Ali Haisen Foundation, they all have professionally run directors and presidents, okay? And see more other families are catching up. I think that's the difference. I don't think it's become a norm here yet, but we have a long tradition of giving. So tradition is there. Okay, so this just matters how you give money, right? So I think, but professionalization is something I believe that younger generation would prefer more. Yes.
So it's a sort of gradual shift.
Yes, gradual shift.
Is happening. Yes. And maybe it's because more women as well are running.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions for Winnie before we bring this session to an end? We've only got a couple of minutes. Professor Winnie Peng, thank you so much for that contribution.
Thank you.
It was very interesting.